What's going on, guys? This is Dean here with Cerum AI, and in this video, I'm going to demo you guys a quick little tool that we've actually been using internally to um, essentially adding ChatGPT to Google Sheets to Excel to really streamline a lot of the things that we do. Again, this is something that's non-technical, but the value is just so evident, and there's really a whole lot you can do. In this scenario, we're going to look at helping generate or helping the process of, building personalized outbound leads, inbound leads, as well as kind of doing a sentiment classification, sentiment analysis on the quality of a lead. So we're going to look at a few examples how to get set up. And for those of you guys that don't know what Cerum AI does, we essentially integrate and build custom bespoke solutions into your company's stack and your company's tech stack, as well as develop, integrate our products and services into it. We work in all different industries: insurance, real estate, legal. There's really the sky's the limit at the moment. So we've been doing this for about 6 months now, and I can't wait to kind of demo you guys some of the products and services that we've brought. To begin using this tool, you simply want to head to the Google Workplace Marketplace. That's a mouthful right there, but search for GPT for Sheets. You want to install it and make sure that you guys are on your own kind of like Chrome profile. I believe you need this. This is essential to get it working. But again, really simple to get it set up. You can, once you have it installed, you can simply just come into extensions, manage add-ons, and then you'll see it here is installed, and you can just go here and set up your API key, which is just going to be an OpenAI key that you get from them. They have a lot of great documentation, and there's really a whole lot you can do. Again, we've been using this actually internally with our team, and I think the whole kind of idea I want to convey here is, the value of something like this is evident, right? A lot of the times, there's so much, product releases and innovation in this industry. It seems like almost every other day there's a newer model coming out, or, such as with function calls and new development frameworks. There's a whole lot. And oftentimes, at least what I've noticed from getting on calls and doing kind of a top-down analysis of businesses is oftentimes they want something, very simple, right? Many people in regardless of industry, they might have used, ChatGPT once or twice. Many of them probably haven't used it, let alone know how to prompt it correctly. So they haven't, fully utilized the power of something like this, especially when a bespoke solution is integrated into their tech stack, into their business stack. And again, I know this is an assumption I'm making, but just off the calls that I've had personally, this is something that I can I can affirm you on. So let's get into it. Once you have it properly installed, you can view their documentation. They have a whole lot of, I'd say their documentation is pretty concise. And obviously, if you've used Excel or Google Sheets, it's going to be pretty straightforward on getting all this set up. So I have kind of different examples here. These are just test examples. So we're going to do one with outbound leads, inbound leads, as well as an inbound lead qualification system. So again, I've actually generated these with the tool itself. And how we get these leads, that's completely up to you. Whether you want to scrape this data, whether you want to, for inbound leads, for instance, we have this set up with our Calendly link schedule. So for example, when a, when a prospect books a call, it'll get outputted to a separate spreadsheet, kind of a simple CRM where we can see the details and the different inputs that they filled out. And then, same thing here with the lead qualification system. Really up to you how you organize it, as well as what you do with this data. But again, just wanted to demo you guys everything here. So first thing we're going to look at is setting up outbound leads. And what we're going to want to do is essentially just generate a quick one-liner, something that's very personalized to get them their attention, right? Normally this would take quite a bit of labor to do this. You'd have to actually, click on each individual lead depending on what data point you have, and then search it, and then, generate kind of something that's unique and quirky to them. And again, the more data points you have on them, the better. The more kind of depending on what kind of how you want to reach out to them. But in our case, we just have their name, email, LinkedIn profile, the current company they work at, and their accomplishment. Something that they might have had on their LinkedIn profile, something cool that they want to share, because this is something that's bound to get their attention, right? And again, you can get this data either from like a lead gen business, or if you want to get their data, for example, scrape it off, various APIs, which I can actually do a video on that as well. But for the quick one-liner, this is really, guys, just how easy it is to do this. We'll just call the GPT function. Again, there's going to be there's going to be a list of different functions here. I'm just going to go over this base one here for this example. And again, if you've used Excel or spreadsheets, it's going to be really easy for you guys to understand. When we type in GPT, we can see the list of different functions. We're just going to select this one here. You can see the different parameters it's going to take. First one being a prompt, then the value, as well as some other optional parameters. And I'll tell you guys here, if you scroll down of what's needed, what's optional, what's it needed for, etc. So for this one, we'll just say, help me create a quick one-liner for an email cold outreach system. And we'll say, make it personal and funny, for example. So the next parameter we're going to accept is the value, which is going to be E3. And then we'll just cap it at that for now. We can obviously add other parameters with the temperature, changing the model. But we can see, hey, name, heard you're a sales superstar. I want to boost your Q4 numbers and make it rain even more. Let's chat. And we can actually even just drag this down. So you can see how effective this can be if we do this, something like this at scale. So this one was, for instance, they implemented cost-saving measures, resulting in them this much in annual savings. Maybe you might not want to be too arrogant when you respond to them, but you kind of get the idea. Again, and then from here, we can essentially plug these kind of quick one-liners into an email sending platform and really automate this service. So, that's one of the examples there. So in this example, we're going to take a look at inbound leads. Really, we're following the same workflow here, but we're going to be using more variables than just the project scope. We'll also use their name to make it, again, more personalized. We could have done above as well. But again, say, for example, you have this linked up with your booking system, and essentially you want to email prospects, messages and leads as soon as they come in. But obviously, that takes some manpower, writing a diligent response. So you could really kind of create a very specific prompt to the services that you guys offer, letting them know, hey, we're going to get back to you, certainly we can integrate a payment system. We'll get back to you. Thank you, John, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole lot we can do, but let's just go ahead and do it here. So, for example, for the prompt, I'll write something really simple here. So, help me generate a response to an inbound lead for my software development agency. Please use the client's name. We'll say prospects. Name and project scope to give a detailed response. Let them know that our team will get back to you ASAP. So we'll just have that there. And then for the values, for the value parameter here, we'll just select, again, just name and project scope. And then it's simply going to generate us a response. And then from here, obviously, we can have this maybe quickly reviewed, if you're not fully relying on this, if you're not getting the responses that you might not want, and then have this send to another, email sending platform. So we can see here, it gives us the name. Hey, John, thanks for reaching out to our software development agency. Again, if we had a more specific prompt, we could actually put our name, as well as combine this with other prompts or other functions as well. Perhaps even doing like a semantic search, which I believe you can even do with GPT Ask. Yeah, kind of using a knowledge base. You can see here that accepts one of the parameters. So, for example, you could have a cell just dedicated to all the services that you guys offer. Maybe even the pricing as well, if you really want to get very specific here. But again, guys, just a response that you get with ChatGPT, and then we can simply just drag this down for the rest of the cells. So, obviously, if you have a lead coming in, you can get these, responses written up as soon as possible, quickly reviewed, and then sent out. Because I do think, obviously having quick response times will put you out of the game here. So we can see here we're just kind of following the same format. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Mike. Thanks for reaching out to us. And you can see it obviously kind of gets into their project scope. Obviously, the more data provided, the better. But again, this is something that you can just play around with and kind of see the results and tune it as you will. The last example we're going to take a look at is lead qualification. Again, this can be very useful for a company that has leads coming in at volume. Maybe you want to separate kind of the good leads from the bad ones, and with those, send it to your sales team or support team to kind of to prioritize the ones that are worth the agent's time. Or same can be said with classifying support tickets. Classifying the different kind of needs, and then from there organizing it, based on priority or just the category, I guess. So I'll show you guys. Let's just do our quick example here. I believe it's going to be GPT classify. We can see the different options, the different parameters here. First one's going to be value, and then the next is going to be a list of categories. So we'll just, for the sake of this, we'll do 3 categories: cold lead, warm lead, and then we'll do a hot lead. And then I'm actually going to I'm going to use GPT-4 here because I did notice that the 3.5, it just wasn't classifying. It was a very simple classification. I noticed that the 4 model performs a lot better. So you can see I entered GPT-4 as the parameter there. We see this as a hot lead. To really get an idea, let's look at some more examples. So something like researching energy efficient HVAC systems. Yeah, that's probably going to be a cold lead, right? Versus something like, looking to replace old HVAC system, that'll be hot. And again, you can even provide it more examples, I believe, is one of the parameters. I guess it'll be an array of columns. So for instance, you could, off of previous, conversations and leads that you've came in, you could classify yourself and kind of train the model in a sense. But, we can even give it another example here. So let's say a spam kind of inbound came in. It's like, looking for a new website, for example. And then, we'll just do that there. We'll drag this down. Let's see. It should classify it as cold. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, guys, in a sense, like you can see how, it does a pretty good job of it without even providing any examples. And obviously you can really just filter out a lot of the spam that comes in through your inbox. For example, you could have any of the cold leads just be deleted. There's really a whole lot you can do. And again, guys, there's so many different functions. You can check it out again if you just come here and then enable, open the extension. You can see all the different functions they have, and they're continually adding on to it as well. And each one of them has their own documentation tied to it. So again, we just kind of looked at 3 very simple ones. In the essence of lead gen, just something that's pretty value dense if you can get it working at scale. But guys, the whole point of this video again was to just show you kind of some more simple, non-technical ways of how you can leverage this technology to really kind of automate things that a lot of companies use. It's like almost everyone uses Excel, spreadsheets, including us. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys want to look at kind of more in-depth system of using this, such as tying it with other softwares, other automations, scraping, and then, for instance, and then sending the list of these to an email sender like instantly, or using it through Microsoft Teams, whatever it may be. There's really a whole lot you can do. And again, this is something that we're actually utilizing in our company as well. So yeah, guys, thank you.